Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to Pacific Paradise, and welcome back to this island we are once more in the PC version of the map editor. And if you're joining us this late but for the first time, well, the controls are this. W goes forward, S goes back, A goes left, D goes right, Q goes down, E goes up. Push and hold the right mouse button, that pans the camera around, but wait, there's more. There's always more. If we select an object, T is transform, R is rotate, F is focus, C is clone, and delete is delete. And those are all the controls you need. But wait, there's even more! Of course there's more. If we go to our terrain brushes, we have the smooth height brush, once the darling of the toolbox. If we select the amount slider all the way up, and then we smooth the edge of the beach down to how it should be, well, everything is now nice and smooth until we save and come back again, and it's not. But we'll get back to that in a moment. Anyway, mouse slider is up on smooth height. Now I go to raise and lower height. Hit lower, left mouse click and punch a hole straight through to Australia. Because they are on the antipode, but also this mouse slider is inherited between all of these brushes. So as a matter of principle and course, what you do is take the mouse slider, slide it all the way down when you're done with the brush. Save often, because there is no undo. If you make a mistake, it's often easier just to reload, and you might notice with your peepers, and because people who genuinely watch these videos tend to be quite bright anyway, I only save at the end of the video. So if I make a mistake partway through, I gotta go fix it, and sometimes, well, it's a pain in the butt. Anyway, this is also a pain in the butt. An update has come out for the game, but only for the console version of the game, not for the PC version. So in 1.0, when the game officially came out of early access, it came out with this bug. And this bug puts straight lines on your beach. I don't know if you can see that after YouTube compression mashes everything up, but we got a bunch of straight lines on our beach. And that is unfortunate. So the shallower your beach is, the smoother and sort of more tropical your beach is, the more you're going to notice the fact that everything is a bit biffed up. Now, we did just use a smooth tool over here, and the beach over here is absolutely how it should be. This is what the game has been like since I started playing in 2016. It is smooth, it is beachy, but unfortunately, yes, since last year, the game is a little bit broken. The map editor, if I save and come back, that area will be all, well, for want of a better word, crunchy, or straight, or geometric, which is not how you imagine sand. So we're gonna have to work a way around that using the tools that are in the game. Here, the very headland, it is kind of lumpy bumpy, but because it's fairly steep, we notice it less, and I think we're going to need to do stuff like that. So we're going to need to move things up and down in order to kind of hide the fact that there's a bunch of straight edges that we can do nothing about. Is it upsetting? Yes. Is there anything we can do about it? No, there's only 2 developers working on the game, and if they're working on the console version, which they are, and they're putting a lot of time in the console version because, well, they kind of need to, the PC version is not getting enough love, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the raise and lower tools. Now, in the past, we've used set height, read terrain paint height. What we do is we normally select an area, we left click, and then this target value goes to that height. We left click and hold. That means that the terrain can only ever go as high as the area we selected, which means if we do forget about this amount slider, well, nothing is lost. But we're not going to do that. We're going to use raise and lower. We're going to use raise and lower, and then we're going to have to be very creative about this. It's going to be a pain in my butt. It's going to be a pain in everyone's. Everyone's not going to be sitting down tonight. You thought you were going to be sitting down? No, it's pain in everyone's butt. So what we're going to do is stack up a load of sand, and then just kind of hopefully the change in height. Oop, we got a tree in our face. The change in terrain height, if it's enough all over the place, then it will be less noticeable that everything's a bit biffed. You keep saying that word. What does it mean? Broken. Not very well. A bit buggered, isn't it? So, yes. I think it's a... Is it a Britishism? Is it something we say in Cornwall in the UK that people don't say everywhere else? Because you can be a bit of a biff. That's just that says if you do something silly. Don't know. So these bubbles, hopefully the bubbles will disappear. Takes a minute. There you go. If you see bubbles, that means there's a gap between the water mesh and your island. You do not want that. You really don't want that. So we're just kind of raising and lowering aggressively, really. I need this river to be here. This little river. So we're just kind of chunking up the terrain as best we can. It's not ideal, but it's how we're going to have to deal with this. What we're going to do is probably not even bother smoothing it off. We're going to use the raise and lower brushes. We're not going to smooth it off. We're just going to do what we can with it, and then we're going to disguise the fact that we've had to mess everything around. Because I wanted the sandy spits. You see, the sandy spits. I wanted them. So we'll push that out. Let's raise it up. So we're using a soft edge brush. There are other brushes that you can use. There's the square ones with the fade. An ombre. What's an ombre? An ombre is a color fade, usually in hair or fabric, and that goes from one color to another. O-M-B-R-E. How do you know that? I heard it in a podcast once. We have these other sort of shaped brushes. Honestly, you'll probably never use them. I've never seen like a use case for any of these other brushes. Square brush? Don't know. A feathered square brush? Nope. So we only ever use the hard circular brush and the feathered circular brush. And that's what I'm using, the feathered circular brush. I know people have asked about it in the past. I'm just like, you know what? I mostly use Photoshop in my day-to-day life. Photoshop is where I kind of live. And that, my friends, is where you use your feathered brushes. So yeah, we're just gonna do this. Now there are obviously be areas that are like we can see these straight edges, and we're just using the raise and lower just to mess around. There's some bubbles there. Ooh, did we do something? No, we have to just get aggressive with that. All right. See a shallower area there, so I'm going to make this slightly deeper as well. Like deep enough to swim in, I guess. So I kind of wanted the... There we go. And what we can do is bring this out a little bit. So we'll raise out here. And then push in here. There we go. So we kind of push that out. I'll push that in there. Be a little bit more aggressive. There we go. Right. Lower that. Now, there is a bit of a problem. The sand is all kind of stacked up here. That's not great. What we can do is, well, I'll do this for everyone who hasn't seen already. Hit display ocean. Oh, that's great, but the shadows are now floating, and there's a weird edge with the skybox spots, like the horizon of the skybox. Oh, how do we fix that? Well, display ocean off, look up at the sky, praise the sun, turn the ocean back off, and your shadows are now locked to the ground. Why does that happen? That, detective, is the right question. Nobody knows. I mean, there is a reason for it, but nobody really cares. Retrain paint height. Okay, click there. And then this amount slider is kind of, I'm gonna move it up a bit. It's just that with this headland, you can kind of see that the sea doesn't quite come that close to the headland. So I'm just gonna raise it up around here. And I'm gonna pull it out quite far towards the edge of the abyss. That's what the island looks like when you don't have the water on. Oh, is that what we're doing? Well, yes. For I will tell you why. Now we're going to use the smooth. The smooth doesn't... Oh, it's so frustrating. Ooh, I'm frustrated. So I'm going to crank the amount up, and then when I'm going to crank it up and rip the knob off. Yeah, we're going to smooth the edge here. And now I'm going to set the size up even bigger. So we want a gentle dip towards the abyss. That's what we want. But we want this headland... not just like straight down into Cthulhu's bedroom. That would be unfortunate. If you want Cthulhu's OnlyFans, you've got to pay for it. Lots of tentacles. I'm just going to go around the outside and make sure there's nothing else that we can just tidy up. A little bit there, a little bit here. Okay. I think everywhere else is okay. This is quite good over here. We've put the island as close to the edge of, well, this sort of cake that we can. So the island itself is quite big. It is enormous. Vast, some would say, but we've managed to break up the outside. So if we turn the ocean back on, we've managed to break things up on the outside, so much so that we've got a lot more of these little offshore islands than we've had in previous maps. We've got more separation between the core of the island and everything else. I think this is going to be okay. This little nub here is kind of concerning. I don't really know what we can do with that. I'm going to take the map, slide all the way down, pull it up off the stop, change the size down. All right. And then I'm going to hit raise, do something with that. You got to be kind of bold with this tool. Right. Now the downside is, even though we've just used raise and lower, this is a lot smoother than it will be. Also, you can't see this. You can't see this, but right in front of us, where the cursor is, there's some bubbles there. That's a little bit of a problem. In the past, I would have gone around with the smooth tool and got rid of it, but no. So push that back. There we go. Is it still bubbly? No, we should be okay. Right. Well, how else are we going to disguise this? Well, we have to go to objects. Objet d'art? No, objet don't. Rocks. I'm going to use some rocket rocks. I'm going to pop them on the outside. Just to disguise the fact that it's all got a bit Pete-tong. What is that? It's a bit wrong, isn't it? Oh. So T. So these shoreline rocks are pretty neat. You can use them to disguise the fact that everything's a bit broken. And if everything's a bit too steep, just throw some shoreline rocks on there. It's good. It looks fine. Alright. We can do that. We can do that. I'm just quietly thinking on the fly exactly the thing you should not be doing. Don't think on the fly when you're doing a video for other people to listen to. But here's the thing. My brain is saying, can you build over the top of these? I believe you can. So I don't think it's going to stop anyone building. So hoof in another one in there. Would that work? Yeah, I guess so. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom over there and just make sure that's okay. So these are going to be quite steep, and by filling them with rocks, it gives them a reason to be steep. I think I might get rid of this one, so just delete on the keyboard. Yes. Yeah, that feels a bit better. So I'll do that. And then R rotate, because there's just a little bit of rock poking up. So terrain objects, so we don't have anything selected. And we just do the same over here. Throw some rocks in there. It's a nice single thing that we can just pull out of the toolbox and just drop down. It does work. So here we have a little inlet of water. The beach is kind of carved out here. We could leave that. The thing about that is that might happen naturally on a beach, but it's more likely to happen if there's something here like rocks or trees or something. Oh yes. We put a rowboat here. I was not sure that we needed the rowboat here. You probably could get deleted then, because we've replaced the rowboat with this, and this is nice, but I've been looking for another place to put the rowboat. Maybe here is a good idea. Is it a good idea? Don't know, but we're going to do it anyway. So we're going to go to structures. We're going to find rowboat. Hello. And we're going to smash you in there. Yes, excellent. So let's see. So I'm just going to delete that real quick. For anyone who doesn't know, or for anyone who's joining late, if you pull something out of the toolbox, it will follow the terrain. So only as long as you're pushing and holding left mouse button, this will follow the terrain. as soon as you let go and you hit transform, it will now just move on the XYZ axis. So you can bury it in the ground, or you can raise it up, or you can do whatever you want, because that is just how that works. Now, it's quite nice to go around the outside of the island just chonking a bunch of rocks, but here's a huge problem. If you are coming towards this island and you're like, I need to land real quick because there's a shark right up my bum, you kind of want to make sure it's quite easy to get to the beaches. So we're going to make it pretty, but we're also going to make it so that people can still get to the beaches, so not block everything off. We're going to hit rotate on this. I'm just going to make sure the plank is like between the rocks maybe. There you go. It doesn't matter too much here because it's obvious that the bottom of the boat is rotted out. So having this on those rocks, maybe at one point the boat was resting on the rocks, and over time the wood is rotted away. It's become rotten. It's disappeared. Just look at the steepness of that. Is that going to be a problem? Bloop. Nah, it's not too bad. Okay, so yeah, over time it's rotted away. We could add some little bits and pieces here. We could. Alright, terrain objects. So, how do we do this? Well, we are going to need to do another pass, one final pass of the whole island. And when we do that, we're going to need to add palm trees, we're going to need to add animals. So once everything's in and locked in, we'll do that final pass, because there's not enough palm trees on this island. We've added a few little vignettes, like over here. So we've added some vignettes to the island. That's good, that's fine, these little palms here. We've added them in other places where we've needed palms, sort of here, because that just goes quite well with the boat. Or here, because we just needed something that was sort of between the player and the ocean. I think we can do something here as well. We might just do the same thing. So we're not going to be using Shoreline Rock 1, because Shoreline Rock 1, if you let go of that, you'll never be able to select it again. It is cursed. Never get Shoreline Rock 1 out. You'll be forever trying to find its little toggle point. I'm not even going to risk it. I'm not even going to risk it. It's a nice rock. It's a nice thing to have. And yeah, we could pop that there and have it in our sea. No, it's so broken that if you do try and get that out, yeah, it will just disappear. You won't be able to do it. So what I'm going to do is drop this in. All right, raise it up a little bit, because I want this area clear. I want it beachy. I want it a beach, and I want it to be clear. I want like a big open area on the island. That's the idea. This area here with the airplane and everything, this is open. That's what I want. But this, we might need to just raise the train up a little bit. So, raise, amount slider, double check that. Like, just check it. Just check it like it's freaking cursed. Check it like you're, I don't know. Just clickety clicks. I don't know. Are you going to finish that sentence, old chum? I was going to work Sherlock Holmes in there, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to work Sherlock Holmes into a desert island setting. Sherlock Holmes Desert Island discs. Well, would he even been around when were they even vinyl discs when he was alive? I guess, maybe. It'd probably be more like wax cylinders. And when we say wax cylinders, there was like a very brittle plastic rather than a beeswax. Anyway, well, I'm getting distracted. I'm distracting myself. Stop that. So we don't want that. We want palm trees. So palm tree 1's probably too big. It is. Palm tree 2. All right. We'll put in a couple little palm trees. So this one and this one. There's a reason for this. Hit R, give them rotate, because the tops are identical. So what you don't want is the tops just sort of being identical. What we can also do is come here. Palm sapling. Yes. T, move it down, and just need it to be on the beach. Palm sapling, same thing, give it a little spin, T transform, drop it down. Do we need to do too much here? Not really, not really. I haven't put physics objects in like rocks and things, but going with the very barren nature of this area, I think I might just leave that like that. Yeah, I like this. I actually quite like this area. So we're going for that deserty feel. Now, I know this is too smooth. This is going to get messed up as soon as we save and come back. But yeah, it was important to finish this off. Okay, so speaking of finishing things off, what we're also going to need to do, terrain objects, is praise the sun. Praise the sun! Turn off the ocean. There we go. Come back down. Right. So I just want to check. Is this deep enough? How deep is your river? So we can change the size up. It's easier to, if you are doing stuff. We're raising. We're lowering. It's easier just to... So I'll just push this down a little bit. Not all the way. Not all the way. So, and I'll raise it a little bit. There's a reason for everything, because at some point this is going to be our. This will be our home island. We'll be on here for a while. So wherever you get these footprints, the game can start putting things in like rocks and boulders and stuff. So I need it to be deep enough so the player can swim, but not so deep that the game decides, you know what, it'd be fun to put a big old ocean boulder in there. There you go. That should be alright. We can smooth that off along here just a little bit. Good, good, good. Alright, let's turn the ocean back on. That's looking fine. Are there any bubbles? Bubble check. No. Okay, we're going to zoop away from there for the time being. So that area is now pretty much done as far as I'm concerned. This bit feels still a little bit cold. I might come back and do something with that. But it's this part of the beach that we need to do something with, because we've got the same problem here. We've got this huge shelf thing. So raise and lower. Unfortunately, the only thing we can do is raise. Raise? Yep. We just have to make this beach a little bit more broken and then lower and push it back. So yeah, and then try and smooth as best we can. This is not going to be good. It's not going to work well, but it's what happens. It's what we've got to work with. And we can see other places where it has worked fairly well, and the reason for that is because it's so steep. So we're just gonna have to do that. So hit lower, make sure the amount is down. Just push this down a little bit, and then raise it. Raise it. Thank you. And smooth it out. So hopefully that's gonna have a better effect. Oops, trees. So just by, I think we need to raise around here. I know we left that area wet for a reason, so we'll bring that out a little bit more. Smooth it for all the good it's going to do, because the effect only happens once you've saved and come back again. Ooh, is it a bug? Yeah, no, it really is. Should it happen? Nope. Will it happen? Yep. Something we're going to have to live with. Right, so just do that. Right, okay, cool. And then we didn't do anything with these rocks. We pulled them onto the beach and never did anything with them. Oh no. Well, let's just dress this up real quick. So, we're going to put a naan on it. Little naan plant. Why don't you wipe out the entire naan homeworld while you're at it? Alright. And immediately we can't select the nana anymore. Nana? Nana, please. Oh, I genuinely can't select that. Oh. There you go. So move that out. I'll need to move this back to how it was, and then grab the Nana. So yeah, objects, like your selection snapping to other objects is just something that happens. Is it annoying? Yeah. Oh, it's genuinely annoying. We're gonna... Oh. try and move this into a place where we can have it sticking out. So what I'm trying to do is look away from the stack of objects. It's 2 cliff pieces, just so that it's less tempting. The game's less tempted to try and snap onto something which is just done. That's a pain in my ass. That's a pain in my ass. All right, cocoa bush. Is there a limit to cocoa bushes? Cocoa bush. Cocoa bush. Cocoa bush. There might be. I'm not entirely sure. We have a few out. Throwing a cocoa bush down here this is actually a bit of a problem now. This whole rock structure. And the whole rock structure is a problem because we've just kind of pinched off this area of beach. Alright. Terrain. Quick. We can fix this. Can we fix it? I'm going to hit raise and I'm just going to add beach through here. Just sloppily add it in there. There you go. I'm going to take the top off and then not even bother smooth. I'm not even going to bother smoothing it. Feels bad. It feels so bad. All right, cocoa bush. Rotate, rotate, rotate. So you grab the XYZ coordinates and give it a little rotate. T to transform, drop it down. These are bigger than they appear in the map editor. So they will appear bigger. That was F to focus. Didn't mean to hit that. For some reason my fingers is like, oh, there's a little raised F there. Why don't you give that a tap? And I'm like, no. I'm going to push that right in there. There you go. Throwing objects. Are you going to drop a ficus in there? I bet you are. I bet I am too. Ficus tree. Right. That's... You know what? That's pretty neat. Let's just jam that into the bush. Because you got bush, you got wood. There you go. Done. No, that's actually pretty decent the way it was. Cool. So we'll just dress this up a little bit. Terrain objects. Oh, why do you hit terrain objects? We did this last time, but I can show you. I can show you the way. I can show you the world. All right, let me do this. Object, rock, T transform. Okay, and if I position this in such a way, that is now, we have one rock that we're moving around that's in the toolbox that's going left and right, and the other one is the one that we kind of accidentally snagged, which is why we always hit terrain objects so we got nothing selected. So we don't accidentally move something, and that might be something here, or that might be something way in the background that you just forgot about, don't know about. Yeah, you can spend ages placing stuff and accidentally just move something and not even know. They call it a mine. Alright. Why do you keep saying that? Yeah. Television and film, innit? Television and film. Right, terrain objects. So we're just going to add some plants to the outside. I think we've used the maximum amount of lava that we can use. Oh no, we can do one more. Oh. Wait, why can we do one more? Question. There's one there. There's definitely one there, and we've put some over here as well. We can just put that there. I think I will actually put that there. Or not. That looks a little bit wrong. No. Yes. There you go. Little vine action going on above that. I wish there was a waterfall. There were talks about having river pieces. So you'd have like I guess a rock section with a river section flowing through it. A little bit of flowing water, but that never came to fruition. Right, so acacia. Yeah, I'm just throwing some plants on this. Essentially, all we're doing is just disguising the fact there's a big lump of grey rock here. R to rotate. Yep. And just move it so the leaves aren't obviously clipped. So yeah, instead of having a bunch of just grey rock, now we're just putting a load of plants on it so that its silhouette is broken up. It still does exactly what we need it to do, which is sit in the middle of the beach and stop you being able to see from one side of the island to the other. So the more of the stuff that we put here, the harder it is to see from one place to another. We might need to do something here, but honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. Palm trees in it. Palm trees. Okay, terrain objects, and then we'll just toss in some palm trees, and then think about. Let's do that. T to transform. Please, let's do this real quick. R to rotate. Like that. T to transform. R to rotate. No, it's moved. No. Well, what have I got selected now? All right. Well, we auto-selected the thing that we were moving anyway. All right. Terrain objects. Right, fine. Let's close this up. Trees. Slap some palms. PALM. It's alphabetized. We can do that. T to transform. R to rotate. Give it a little spin. Then we'll do another one. I always put two of different heights. T to transform. R to rotate. Zoop. There we go. So that boring lump of rock has now got a bunch of trees and stuff around it. It's broken the silhouette up, and that is looking pretty decent. Yeah. So we've got a bunch of stuff there. I'm okay with that. That's looking more natural. Good. So it's actually two cliff pieces, because we saw the two cliff pieces. We've got shoreline rocks, we got a couple of trees, we've got a ficus, a bush, and some miscellaneous plants. So that is good. The headland's now done. Let's zoom out. Oh yeah, we can't control the speed of the camera. That was the one thing that I should have said at the beginning. Terrain objects. So the one thing I should have said at the beginning, yes, the camera speed is not linear. It's just all over the place, depending on how close you are to objects. I'm thinking that's okay. We're going to need to go around next time and put a bunch of palm trees in and animals, and we're kind of done, I think. Unless there's any last minute things I can think of. We're going to need to put some little palm saplings in the pine saplings in the forest, but otherwise, yeah, we're kind of almost there. And it's looking like a pretty decent island. Good, excellent. So not long now, and then we'll just go back into the game and start another playthrough, because I think that's where all this is leading. If you like this, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Your subscription matters. You matter. Believe me, trust me, you do. If you want notifications, dingle the bingle. If you don't want notifications, don't click the bell. And I'll tell you what, I'll catch you next time.